Okay, guys, let's have a conversation about the amazing Byron Nelson, part of the great triumvirate. I've talked so much about Ben Hogan, and I've been researching Sam Snead. I'm a huge fan of Sam Snead's beautiful swing, but there's something about Byron Nelson's swing that I really want to talk about, and it's very related to the work that I've been doing this year on Ben Hogan. Now, if we want to talk about Byron Nelson, the person that reminds me the most of him in today's game is Jim Furyk. The thing that you'll notice about Jim Furyk as he hits the ball is he really gets those knees forward in his downswing. I think this is a really good thing that he does that a lot of amateurs could benefit from. You'll notice he has great knee flex, and that right knee stays really low through the ball. That's what reminds me of Byron Nelson. Look at that right there. That knee is really low. I think that encourages that solid contact. Now, when I was working with Greg McHatton, we had a lot of fun talking about Ben Hogan. And there's obviously, the famous swing of Ben Hogan. We can see, we've talked about running at the ball. If you look at Mr. Hogan's impact, there's a great angle in his right leg up through his foot, through his knee. That knee action driving at the ball. It's pretty remarkable how low he gets that right knee through impact. And if we were to continue this conversation, I would include Lee Trevino. Let's take a look at this again. As we see Mr. Trevino come down into impact. Look at the angle of this right shin, the right knee driving at the ball. These guys were all Texans, and they were the greatest strikers of the ball in history. So let's take a look at Mr. Nelson here. Byron Nelson was widely regarded as the straightest hitter of a golf ball perhaps ever. He was crazy straight, but I want to look at his right knee here. When Hogan said that his secret was his right knee, did he perhaps pick this up from Byron Nelson? Look at the kneecap, how low that is as he hits the ball. That right knee is crazy, crazy low. We'll watch this from this angle. I think in a lot of ways he reminds me of Mr. Hogan. He really lays that club off there as he makes his move down into the ball. See the right knee driving and turning over. And then we see evidence of what I refer to as the squeeze pivot. I recently talked about that showing Mikhail Baryshnikov. But look at that. We can see those two knees pull together. Very reminiscent of Jim Furyk. Now I'm going to tell you about Jim Furyk. He is, I believe, if not the highest smash factor, one of the highest smash factors on tour. He just hits it solid. You don't shoot 58 without hitting it solid. So he's got something that we see that Byron Nelson had. Okay, and as we take a look at this swing from Byron Nelson, this is a great head-on view here. He actually sets the club much higher than Mr. Hogan, but again, let's focus on the knees. There's a slight spread here, but that right knee is going to roll over. I talk about it as the tie knee strike. He is going at that target with that right knee, and the flex in that knee is just fantastic. If you guys fool around with this, I think you may discover that there's a lot of compression that you can get from this. And again, also accuracy. So these are two wonderful things that you get from the classic golf swing. These guys could play. Now, Byron Nelson won 11 pro golf tournaments in a row, 18 in one season. His scoring record was tough to beat. And I'll tell you, it's pretty remarkable because Byron Nelson retired at the age of 32. And that's pretty crazy to think. If he had played a normal career up to, say, 48 or 50, how many wins would this gentleman have? But Byron Nelson certainly was a gentleman of the game. I hope that this analysis helps you, and I hope that you hit him long and hit him straight.
Hey guys, so let's cut to the chase. Here's my old golf swing. And here's my new golf swing. Five years ago, I started a YouTube channel, and I wanted to improve my golf swing by using Ben Hogan's 5 lessons. Well, guess what? It worked. And along the way, I picked up over 8 million views on YouTube, and I learned how to shoot under par. Unbelievable, right? Well, the great news is I have a brand new instructional video called The Hogan Code. In this video, I break down everything that I learned over my long journey to learn to swing like Ben Hogan. And now you can learn the very same techniques that I used to become the golfer I always wanted to be.